Hi, Les. We're just testing audio. Yes, we can hear you. Thank you. And I just saw that Lotna also joined. Can you hear us, Lotna?
Hola, buenos días, loud and clear. Buenas tardes.
You're not in the Spanish channel, but let me go ahead and fix that right now.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay. Both of you should be in the Spanish channel. Can you hear us? Yes, thank you so much.
The meeting to order, and okay, we're going to start with the Pledge of Allegiance. Flags behind it. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all.
Someday.
So I couldn't attend the closed session. Would someone like to report on that?
We do roll call.
Oh, we need a roll call. Okay,
Yes.
please go ahead.
Okay. Director Hodges,
Here.
Director Rosen,
Here.
Director Hatcher,
Here.
Director Lamnon. Here. President Andrade.
Here.
Thank you.
So report on closed session. I wasn't able to attend that. So if Zach, is you, yeah, would you go ahead? Director
Yeah.
Lamnon.
Sure. We met in closed session and there's no reportable action.
Thank you. Okay, introduction of new employees. Do we have it? Is anyone here?
We're coming, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
We sat down, we started and we're looking for item. My packet, 7.1 million who's first. Okay, I'm first. There we go. Good evening, President Andrade, Honorable Board of Directors, James Wheeler, General Manager. Tonight I have the pleasure of introducing one of our newest employees, Mr. Dwayne Taylor, who will be our new Parks and Facilities Maintenance Director. Prior to joining us here, Dwayne worked for the University of California, San Francisco, where he was the Senior Facilities Manager, who had worked his way up from a Facilities Manager. I can tell you that the Mission Bay campus and the Parnassus campus are two campuses I'm familiar with because I have a friend who works there. And the facilities are spectacular. The grounds are really nice. It's a lot to take care of. There's a lot of technology in some of those classrooms and newer stuff. And then you go over to Parnassus and there's a lot of older stuff. So kind of varying. What attracted me the most to Dwayne, aside from that, was he had about 5 years where he was with Oakland Unified and San Mateo Unified. So he has taken care of fields, turf, parks, buildings, old buildings, good new buildings. Has a BA and a master's, an MBA. And it kind of shows in our interactions. Very, very excited to have him here. He is a sports fan, loves football, 49er fan, tries to get to some games, and was refereeing high school and was going to make the move to junior college, but has decided it's probably not a great time to do that because it takes just a ton of time. Lots of meetings, I think, was his term. So we are thrilled to have Dwayne with us, and you can talk to him or he can talk to you, however you'd like that.
You want to say a few words, Dwayne?
I think I'm operating this correctly.
Yeah, you got it.
I just wanted to say, but everything Jim said was on point, and I'm really excited to be here. I've been here now. This is going on my, I guess, 3.5 weeks, or my third or fourth week. It's been a blur because I was trying to get ramped up with Chris Peterson before he left. So I think the metaphor everyone was using was saying I was drinking through a fire hose. So I'm just kind of coming down from that. But, I think there's a lot of opportunity to build on all the successes that have been established within the department. And I'm looking to come in and, work and support my team and the rest of the hard organization to just kind of take us into the next phase, post Chris Peterson from my seat. So I'm really looking forward to being here and look to work closely with the board and carry out Jim's vision for HARD.
Great. Yeah. Any board members wish to comment? Yeah, we can take a picture. You want to do that? Yeah.
Yeah, you can have somebody get a photo.
Is it?
You're right here.
I hear it. Oh, okay.
Gotta get something to start for.
I know, right?
One, two, three.
I like it. Thanks so much.
Thanks. Never gets old.
Yeah. Right.
I'm sure they're in.
Anybody want to say anything or just, well, just welcome and, I'm glad you're here. Sounds like you're gonna be able to take things in charge, but yeah.
Well, I don't know if
Oh,
you
I
have
thought you were gonna
something
say
else to
something.
say. I'm
Anybody
going to
else?
tell you that in the 3 short weeks, we've proven to have made a pretty wise choice, and the meetings are very encouraging, and I think we've fixed a lot of things in the last 7 to 10 years, and now I look forward to a new set of eyes looking at the Parks Department.
Great. Thank you. Okay, so our next item is public comments.
Oh, we have another.
Yeah.
Another employee, okay, yeah.
So I will introduce,
Be here, I'm sorry.
yes, he's here. So the day I was hired, there was another individual hired, and Mike is one of our new equipment mechanics. Mike, can you raise your hands for the board to see?
Hello.
Um,
You can come up
so-
to the podium and stand. and-
So,
Don't embarrass you, buddy.
So a little bit about Mike. So Mike, he's going to be working with the turf and water team over at the Mission Hills Golf Course. But prior to joining Hard, Mike was at Baylands Golf Links and worked his way up to equipment shop manager. During his time at Baylands, Mike was proficient with numbers as well as turning the wrench. Not only did Mike manage a fleet of equipment from tractors to small equipment, he also trained employees on how to properly use the equipment as well. He oversaw lease packages and ensured budgets with vendors were on track. Um, some of his previous supervisors praised Mike for being a highly productive and dependable employee, which are all redeeming qualities for an employee, particularly within the facilities and maintenance department. But he's known to be knowledgeable in the trades, but he's also personable too, and that's one of the qualities that we're really impressed with him. In his spare time, Michael enjoys spending time with his family, and on his own time, he enjoys playing golf and watching sports. His favorite teams are actually the Knicks, the Warriors, and the Yankees. Not so sure about those Yankees, but yeah. And then, but we are thrilled to have Mike join the Parks and Facilities Maintenance team at Hard, and I'm looking forward to working with him in the future.
Well, you're welcome. Welcome to coming. Thank you.
Anything you can, or if you just want to step up for a picture, you can do that.
No, you-
I just want to say thank you.
Hold it up to the
Yeah, you gotta speak
microphone,
into the
please.
mic, sorry.
Thanks.
We can make a
Speak into
picture.
the mic, Mike.
All right. Yeah, I just want to say thank you for the opportunity. I grew up on Long Island, New York, outside of New York City.
That's why.
Some of the places that I volunteer for US Opens at both Winged Foot, Shinnecock. I've also worked at the Olympic Club in this area. So I'm glad to be here. And I brought my wife with me, Medea. Hi, Medea. Say
Hello.
hello. And Dwayne and I will forever be connected. We started work on the same day. So
Great. Thank you.
thank you, everybody.
Yeah, sure.
Congrats. Nick's working really good this year. Thanks, sir.
Yeah.
Right?
This guy, you got Mike
I'm
Brown.
not giving up on my head.
Screaming about Mike Brown. not
My
being
husband
here
is
next
Yankees
to him.
fan too.
Oh,
so
good.
You're in.
Hired
called
Mike
for
Brown.
you.
They got rid of Thibodeau and hired Brown. Nobody does. All I can say is you did do a good job with games. The only good thing.
All right.
One point.
Thanks.
That's all. Great shape. So maybe that'll be the same, because they basically ran out of gas. Technically,
Hey, so we're gonna go into public comments. And my first is Bruce King.
Hi, Bruce King with Friends of San Lorenzo Creek. As probably many of you know, the flood control district had a benefit assessment that was out to the voters to raise $270 million, and it did not pass. Tomorrow at the Board of Supervisors meeting, they'll announce that the property owners that it went out to, that it wasn't even close, that it got turned down by the property owners. So that was flood control's big initiative to get a lot of money to mostly reduce flood risks. So, but that's going to impact, like they were going to modify Don Castro Dam, desediment, modify the dam, put in Fisk Passage. They basically had to retain more water at Don Castro, and they had to modify all the engineered channels all the way down through Hayward and San Lorenzo and Cherryland. They basically had to strengthen some of the channels because they're ready to fall apart in some cases, and they had to increase the height of the channels and things. And I had asked hard whether or not that impacted the ability to build the San Lorenzo Creekway. The answer I got was no, but I couldn't quite believe that because it seemed like they would have to do a lot of construction if they need to spend that much money to fix all the engineered channels. Anyways, it also they were going to include a fish ladder at downtown Hayward so that salmon and steelhead could make it up from the bay into the upper watershed. So, flood control basically, started 10 years ago trying to pass this and figured that the voters wouldn't approve it. They waited for floods to give the evidence that it was needed, and that didn't convince the voters. And I think everybody's at real high risk of flooding. Even if we build that creekway, I could see where the section of the creekway could get washed out when the flood control channels fail. Anyways, just to give you an update.
So Bruce, they're not allowed to comment on your comments at all because it's public comment and it's not on the agenda.
Right.
But I will tell you that I would love to speak with you sometime about some of this, and maybe we can enlighten you on like what our position was, because we own 5 parcels and we did vote. Six, and we did vote.
Yeah, it's an interesting. Won't say anything, so they were rather opaque about what they were going to do. I'll say that. Stop it there. Okay, and then the second comment. The second comment is from Heather Reyes.
Good evening. My name is Heather Reyes. I am a homeowner near Longwood Park, but I come before you as a community school specialist at Tyrell Elementary. I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart for the Play Hard program that was brought forward to Tyrell and Glassbrook. It had 4th through 6th grade students learning volleyball, which got my daughter hired. And they did basketball, soccer, flag football. And even though the girls did not want to do flag football, they had a blast. And the competition against Glassbrook was phenomenal. I don't know that we can say that any elementary schools have done that. And so I'd like to say it was our first. Our first game was at Tyrell, and the energy from the parents, from the students, from the staff was electric. I was overwhelmed with just how much everybody was enjoying it. Teachers came up to me afterwards and thanked me for the work that I had done. I want to give a shout out and kudos to Noel, who was overseeing the program. Him and I both have the same passion, the same vision. Mike has been, I haven't had much contact with Mike, but Mike is persistent as well. And I have enjoyed working with both of them. Like I said, my daughter was hired, which caused her to make a career change. She's going to Chabot, and she now wants to go into education because she was able to see the impact of what the sports was able to do for our low income students, those that are living in fear right now, in poverty right now. This gave them something. And the impact on a couple of students I'd love to bring up as well. A young kiddo who was consistently in the office for behavior referrals. We suggested that he learn to play basketball, which was the first area that they did. I will tell you, from January to May, the referrals to the office became less and less and less. We had another young lady had some anger challenges, and to watch her grow and utilize the skills that she's learning was phenomenal. So thank you. I'm really looking forward to this coming back.
Okay. Well, I want to thank you for the feedback. It really, a lot of times we don't know exactly what's going on, but it's really great to get a report like that. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Okay. Okay, we're moving to the consent calendar. It consists of draft minutes from the last meeting, approval of a new job description for senior recreation supervisor, revision of community center rules and policies. And I think those are the three items.
Yeah.
Okay, does anyone want to pull any of these items? Okay, hearing none.
I'd like to move the consent calendar as presented.
Okay.
Second.
Okay. Moved by Director Rosen, seconded by Director Hodges. Any questions from the board? Okay, and then any member want to talk about this item?
I was just gonna ask one quick question.
On 10-1.
Okay.
No, I was gonna ask a question on 9.3.
Okay, I should. I didn't acknowledge that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because
We should pull it. And then we can't discuss items after the fact. You want to pull it, go back and pull it. I'm happy to.
then never mind. I'm okay.
Okay.
What's your question?
I was just gonna ask, when are we gonna be able to have alcoholic beverages at the Canadian Community Center?
I would say if you approve the revisions to the policy tonight, which you just did, we probably need a second to update some of the forms and manuals and things we hand out. August 1st. That's what he was gonna say, he said, so.
That was all I wanted to know.
I
Thanks.
appreciate it.
Okay.
Needs to vote on.
No, so we have a motion and a second, and there's no other comments. So we're gonna close the public hearing and call for a board discussion. Okay, whatever. Anyway, this is not, so we can vote on this. So let's vote. Aye. Okay. The motion carries unanimously. Okay, item 10, written communications, a letter from Yvonne Burns.
Yes, good evening, President Andrade, Honorable Board, James Wheeler again. We received a very nice letter. So as you're aware, we had an incident at the Kenneth Aiken Community Center, a heart attack. We had people work on this person in our quick action. The person was okay. We had 2 staff members involved. I'm really sorry. They do call out Daniela and Christine here that were calm, attentive, and provided the care. We plan on having them come. They could not make it tonight. We were asking them to come to kind of do a commendation for them on one of our forms, but we will get them here in the next meeting or two so we can thank them publicly. It really does my heart good. You know my background. So whenever we've spent a lot of time on emergency response and training and making sure people are certified. And so it's great that it paid off and that the emergency action plan at the facility went well. I think the swimming pools and the senior centers are probably our best tests of like how well we do when something's really wrong. And I think this one went good. So we want to thank them, and we really want to thank Yvonne Burns for letting these people know they did a good job. And like I said, we'll recognize them at a meeting they can actually get to. They're both on vacation right now.
Great. Well, give them our commendations anyway. We appreciate it. Yeah.
You, President Andrade, you all will sign it and you'll present it here in the room like we do with all of our recognitions, proclamations, whatever. This one will be, I think, our first commendation. So now we've done retirement recognitions, proclamations, and now we're going to volunteerism, and now we're going to move into commendation for incredible employee work, which this definitely was.
Great. Great. Okay. Going on to number 11, public hearings. There's none. Unfinished business. There's none. New business is Greenbelt Trails signage project and award of contract.
So Megan Tiernan's going to present this item, and we have some good news and some bad news.
Okay.
So we did receive multiple bids on this project. Unfortunately, late this afternoon, we received a bid protest. And so we're going to pull this item at this time and bring it back to a future meeting after we've had time to review the bid protest.
Okay.
So if the clerk will know, we're going to actually put this item on the table officially. And if you could vote to put it on the table, please. Postpone? Are you sure? Same word, different meaning, or? They'd have to vote to bring it to table it. That's okay, but we'll postpone it if you'd like.
Okay, so we're done with that item then, and then we're moving.
We have to vote to postpone it.
No, we don't.
Oh, we can just, got it.
Vote it all.
Okay, let's do that.
Thank you,
Okay, and
Kristen.
that's okay, so we're into other business, informational items. So who wants to start? Rick?
Thank you, Mr. President. Yeah, I finally numbered how many things I go to, so I did have 7 things to talk about, so I will make it quick. I want to thank staff and in regards to Chris's retirement at the Row Ranch, it's nice to when we have great times for folks that have been a part of this community and part of this family for so long. So it was a lot of work, and everything from the mustaches all the way through the food and the service there. It was a great kind of like out with the old, in with the new, but in Chris's terms, it was appropriate because he had been here so long. So thank staff for putting on an incredible event there. I was at the Hayward Youth Commission swearing in, and I was able to speak and thank the commissioners, the new commissioners that are up this year, and then the returning commissioners. We all know with staff and with our board how much the youth commission is a part of so many of our events and so many of our what we're doing moving forward. So it's great to be in front of the city hall and speaking on behalf of the community and as well as HARD. I will cut a little bit. The All-American Festival that was down at the Eden Mansion. Again, it's great to see the park activated. It was relatively well attended. It was good to see HARD there so prominently with that event, and seeing the community really getting the events that they want to see and being able to get opportunity to witness the park. I always ask folks if they've been to this park or seen the mansion, and a lot of folks were new to the park, so it was great to see it activated and looking so well. And I'll skip a couple, but I will thank staff again for the Hardin Arandas and working with Francisco Zemeno in the city of Hayward in the sister city of Arandas, and meeting some of the folks over there and seeing their happiness and their appreciation of what was being accommodated there at that park site. And so with that, I will defer to my directors.
Something?
Thank you. Yeah, it was great to be with everybody at the Arandas parking dedication, and really appreciate all the great energy that was brought to that. And then also the Black and White event at Sorensdale was really a great dance party. People really had a good time there. And then the family art party out in the park was just lovely. Great event, great energy, really interesting attractions. So great job. Thanks.
Peter? Sorry.
So yes, I want to echo a lot of what Director Hatcher said about the retirement for Chris. Welcome, Dwayne, but you got to see a lot of the love that people have for people that are here, and I think that's probably encouraging, and I'm glad you're here. Chris was somebody I really liked, and I really liked seeing how everyone responded to Chris and how everyone appreciated him and everything. So I think you're coming into a good spot that set up for you. The Parque Arondis event, it was good to see Francisco Zermeño so happy. And I'm glad that we have a new sister city that I think that relationship, I'm glad that we've got somebody that's going to cultivate that. And I'm sorry I missed the Sorensdale event. I wanted to be there, but I couldn't make it. But yeah, that's about it.
Director Hodges?
My turn. I agree about the Chris retirement. It was first class and it was an enjoyable event. The Mount Eden Mansion, I still would hope that some of that underbrush along the promenade needs to come out. I'm guessing there was about 30 easy ups. There's would be more room and probably more shade for the participants if we could get that cleaned up a little more. Fairview Mac basically talked about the 4th of July, and I'd like to find out later on how Hard did. I didn't see him in the paper, so I guess everything worked out really good as far as what happened at any of our parks. And then that's it for me.
Okay, thank you. So I went to both events. Well, first with the Arondis garden. I just want to thank Christy for translating, and I had a chance to practice my Spanish too, so that was kind of fun. And of course, what do you say about Chris? I mean, it was fun. I like his drum solo. It was awesome.
I was
So-
for B, if you noticed, you told me it was for me.
Okay. Well, it was good. It was good. So, staff?
Good?
Yeah.
Okay. President Andrade, Honorable Board, James Wheeler, General Manager. So I do not have a lot to report to you about. I will save a brief 4th of July kind of comments for Dwayne. We spoke about them this morning at leadership. There was not a lot of stuff, but he'll tell you something. I do want to say that last Thursday we got an email about the plunge, or we got a Facebook post about the plunge. It was from somebody who's complained about multiple things to us in the past, mostly about parking and access and things. I'm not sure it was an absolutely fair depiction of the condition of the plunge, but we kind of dropped everything. Dwayne, Adrian Lee Bird, and myself went down to the plunge immediately upon seeing that. There was about 8 comments at the time, some good. Again, the plunge is 89 years old. We had the discussion about nobody minds old if it's clean, right? So there's a little bit of cleaning there. Some of the pictures, we had a seat in a shower that someone that was too large sat on and ripped out of the wall, and they just hadn't repaired it yet. But in general, I think the plunge is in pretty good condition when we walked through it, and was pretty clean. There were some spots they found pretty much all the 4 or 5 areas. I think what I'm proud of is Council Member Zermeño and Mayor Salinas, who it was written to, who was told to do better on Facebook, which is just inappropriate no matter who you are or what you're mad about. We went down, we looked, I had someone post on my behalf my message to them about how we went and visited. immediately nice responses from Mayor Salinas and Hart will do the right thing. And, you know, we're going the right way. So these things happen. We can't control them. But in this case, again, we came out okay with it. And the plunge will be undergoing renovation in the fall, as we previously discussed. So,
All right.
a lot of the things that are not good in that building are structural and we'll never fix, but we will do the best we can and keep it alive until we can look at our other aquatic center alternatives in the future. I will be out tomorrow through Friday. Again, just trying to get rid of some of this enormous vacation balances and things I have that I just gotta get rid of. And with that, I will pass it on to our newest member of the team, Mr. Dwayne Taylor.
Thank you for the introduction. So just to provide a brief update on some of the activity from the long weekend. Our maintenance teams were, busy working on Saturday morning. So Christian Pinky Park, was probably the recipient of the most damage. As you probably are well aware, around this time of year, 4th of July, there's, from what I've learned, a community ritual, so to speak. And, they have their own fireworks show. And so there was, a few cars on our turf areas doing donuts. We have photos from, a significant number of firework debris. So the city actually worked with our teams on Saturday morning at 6 a.m. to help remove some of the debris. They had street sweepers on some of the adjacent or nearby streets to help clean up some of the mess so we could restore the community back to its conditions prior to the fireworks show. And then we had an issue over at Adobe Park. There was a small fire in a bathroom sink and there was a light pole that got knocked down. So there wasn't any damage from the fire in the sink, and our maintenance teams are going to repair the damaged pole. But those are probably the highlights from the long weekend. I thought that would be good to share with yourselves, so you're aware in case you might hear that in some conversations you have with some of your constituent groups outside of here.
Sounds like we got off light. Yeah. Sounds like we got off light, for. Yeah.
I would have to say that, as you know, and maybe aware, HLAC 2 to 3 years ago, we started addressing a more unified approach to the 4th of July, and I think it's working. We heard a rumor that the neighbors around Christian Pinky all bank up their money all year and that they spent anywhere from $75,000 to $100,000 on fireworks to light off in that park. So it's isolated. Thank goodness that park has streets on all sides of it. Right, it's just built in the middle of the neighborhood, right down like a strip. I like Pinky because the grass is always pretty well watered, I'll say. In my experiences out there are some spots that stay pretty wet. So could have picked a worse spot, a little bit of damage to a basketball court. But in general, we lock the tennis courts. We try to lock up what basketball courts we can to keep the fireworks off of them from ruining the paint and the pavements. But I think we did get off pretty good. I sit around on the 4th and do nothing except wait for my phone to tell me I have to come down to deal with something, and it didn't happen this time, so that was good.
Great.
Mike, you wanna?
Good evening, President Andrade and Honorable Board of Directors, Mike Mistroni, Recreation Manager. You already spoke about a lot of our previous events, so I'm just going to give you a quick update on some upcoming events that we have in recreation. This upcoming Friday, July 11th, we have our second movie night. We're showing Inside Out 2 at San Lorenzo Park. On Saturday, July 12th, we have a VIP event at Greenwood Park from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. And then on Sunday, the 13th, we have our FIFA World Cup finale watch party that we'll be using the LED screen for the first time. So we're looking forward to that. That'll be at San Lorenzo Park at 12 p.m. We're also giving out free hard soccer scarves to the first 100 attendees to that event too. They look really great too. And then next week on Thursday the 17th, we'll be at downtown Hayward July Street Party. We'll have mobile rec activities and games, as well as a lot of tables and booths out there as well again.
Michael, clarification, you said noon for the FIFA watch? The poster says 9 at the park. Is it?
That is a time discrepancy. 9 a.m. We thought that the 12 p.m. start time was Eastern time, but it is actually Pacific Standard Time, that 12 p.m. So it is at 12 noon.
Okay.
And so you're doing lots of advertising for that. I mean, there's a lot of soccer players, but
Yes, yeah, and we've updated the times on the links in the social media post too to ensure that that's out there for the community to see as well.
okay, great.
Yeah, I mean, that was, so you took the banner that was down at San Lorenzo Park. I just took a picture of the banner that was up there and it had 9 a.m. So
I will follow up on that.
cool.
You have a question, Director Rosen? You're very pensive right now.
I'm just thinking, sorry. I'm just thinking that this is great that we're doing the LED screen. Do we want to, I mean, are we anticipating a huge crowd for this thing?
Hope so. Hopefully.
So we're really not in the dialogue portion of the program, but what is your concern so that we can make sure we address it?
I was just thinking that there's a PR opportunity. We could maybe get the news team out there to see all these people.
I think the rec center's under renovation. A large portion of the parking lot is under renovation. We're hoping to get it done. They're moving stuff around. It's not super pretty. I think we'll do our first test run of the screen and the connectivity and the sat link and the streaming and everything without Channel 4 there in case it goes wrong.
Okay.
Yeah, but I appreciate that. We will get some mileage out of this later.
This is our pilot program.
Okay.
Good evening, Honorable Board. Megan Tiernan, Capital Planning and Development Director. PG&E had been scheduled to come to the district office to finish the installation of a new transformer on June 18th. They did not make it to the site that date, so it's been rescheduled for this Thursday. So sometime between 9:30 in the morning and 1:30 in the afternoon, we will lose power, but it's a chance for us to experiment with our generator and see how that runs.
And an add-on to PG&E, the good news, the very good news, the incredibly good news is that they got out to San Lorenzo Community Park and they finished the PG&E for phase 2, which means we now have parking lot lights again, power in the maintenance shop, and all the other things that we were being, for lack of a better term, held hostage for. Phase 2 is pretty much complete now that that's done.
Yes.
Yes.
That's how I was going.
Yes, we're batting this in the month of July and the end of June. I guess I can't say a month. We're batting 1,000 with PG&E. Well, they haven't come back here yet. So we're batting 666 right now with PG&E.
Okay. That's what I was gonna ask that. Yeah. And
Miss Roa, do you have anything to add? Oh, hi, Stephen. Thanks for filling in tonight.
well, I did have a question for.
You can ask questions when the meeting's over. This is comment where we just do short informational items.
Okay,
Thank you.
please go ahead. Yeah.
We're good.
Okay, well, you didn't have anything to report. Okay. Okay, well, I'll ask my question afterwards. Anyone else have comments or nothing? Okay. I'm going to adjourn this meeting then. I see it, we're adjourning in honor and memory of Sean Blair, who was, he began working for Hayward Recreation and Park District on August 7th, 2016, started at Hayward Golf Course, and after the pandemic returned to continue his work at Mission Hills. Throughout this time with the district, he worked in the pro shop where he was a constant welcoming presence and a true ambassador for the community. Sean is survived by his sister and extended family. His warmth and dedication will be deeply missed. Okay, and with that, I'm going to adjourn. Yeah. So, yeah. Okay.
Thank you, Lee.